Simon.
And I'm Frazer.
And we are Clip.
So over the last year or so, we've been developing a microphone that can turn light into sound. And it's been a really playful journey, experimenting with this technology and all that's possible with it, that's kind of resulted in us generating a product that we've made in collaboration with all the young people we work with through our social enterprise, through Clip. And Clip is all about encouraging people to get more curious with sound, and I think using light as a way of making music is a really playful approach. It's really hands-on, and it's a really accessible way of making like electronic music as well. And so we were sort of looking at different ways that we can use this bit of technology and showing it with people, because it's really hard to describe turning light into sound, and there's a lot that comes from actually just showing people what it sounds like and seeing that synchronization between light and sound.
Because the original idea for it came out of one of our Clip sound workshops, where we were playing around with solar panels, and we just plugged a solar. What happens if we plug a solar panel into the input of an amplifier, and then it actually worked like a microphone. So you shone light on it, and you could actually hear what that light sounded like. So yeah, from that point, we started designing this musical instrument called the Photon Smasher that is in essence a microphone that listens to light. So we started thinking about how we might use this in an installation, if we can make a piece of work with it, and we kind of had this idea. There was a quote. The title of the work is actually "Stars Are Our First True Friends," and it's a quote from a Erling Kagan book called Silence in the Age of Noise, and he's a Norwegian mountaineer, and he talks a lot about kind of silence and sort of slowing down and kind of listening to the world and finding, wherever you are, finding silence within noise. And then the quote is about stars, and we kind of always like this kind of this idea that the Photon Smasher is somehow kind of listening to kind of the cosmos, and because so that's where the idea for the installation comes from. And we came in here last week, and we just started experimenting with the solar panels, using the torches, the bike lights, and just kind of working out the best way we can make a piece of generative music. Because if you kind of keep them on the panel, it just you have the same sound over and over again. So we thought, how can we make a sort of piece of generative art where it kind of just evolves and changes over time? And we were thinking, how can we do this? Okay, so we went on Amazon and looked at child's mobiles, anything that kind of moved, and then Fraser found this solar system, which was amazing because it kind of fits in with our
yeah.
And then what did you do?
Yeah, and so we sort of like customized this children's solar system to fix these they're bicycle lights, and then they just have these pitches. So because LEDs are actually flashing on and off at a really fast rate that we can't perceive, the solar panel, essentially each one of those flashes is like a click, and then when you hear clicks really fast, we then perceive them as a pitch. And so the different lights have different pitches, and as they rotate and kind of cross paths, you get this really lovely rhythm. And then we've routed them through some pedals for some delay, some vibratos and pitch shifting, and it kind of just makes this really kind of mystical and hopefully quite mesmerising installation as you sort of join the dots between that's happening when that passes there. I think there's something really mesmerising about that synchronisation between the movement and the light and the sound and kind of all of that coming together.